taking on Andre Bear. Hypno versus Dawido on the other side. Dawido, a popular Polish player, I believe. Dead Draw up against Faeli. So
kind of different lineups with just Shadowwalk Shaman as the same deck.
I will say, I'm very surprised to see a Zoo deck in the top 16. I would not have expected Zoo to perform well. Even Warlock is the most popular of the Warlock decks by far. We just saw Board Control with Cube Warlock. But Zoo just is not a deck that has been really on the radar in the last couple of tour stops, Lorinda.
Yeah, we haven't seen much aggro of any sort. Maybe the odd Paladin hanging around, but apart from that, I mean, Odd Rogue used to be a Hearthstone deck. I'm sure it did. I'm sure I remember just saying winning tournament after tournament with Odd Rogue. I don't remember when I last saw an Odd Rogue.
It has been a while.
Zoo is in the same boat. We see the occasional Zoo, but everyone's playing like Evenlock or not playing Warlock at all.
Zoo finds itself in a good position in this series, though, moving forward. I believe 2 out of the 3 possible matchups for it are favourable for the Zoo. So, and Odd Rogue's looking good as well. Maybe Vlcak's onto something here.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. It's certainly worked out for him up until this point. And like you said, the only real similarities between the lineups are the 2 Shutterwalk Shaman lists, other than that Vlcak.
But he's done his job already, and that can count against you. And Vlcak already...
Odd Rogue getting that matchup that it wants.
Yeah.
Even Warlock versus Odd Rogue. Definitely a Rogue favourite here. There are things that Warlock can do, but there are things the Rogue can do more. As 1-drop into Hench Clan Thug is all but guaranteed for well, it is guaranteed for Vlcak here, unless he decides to throw away that Squire as well.
Okay, so just another thing about Vlcak. I've just done a little bit more quick digging because I'm suddenly aware that we are missing something. He went 7-2 and missed out on tiebreakers last Dreamhack.
Oh,
the last one he went to.
Okay.
So
which one was that? Do we know?
I don't know, if I'm honest. I'm doing very quick work.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, he went 7-2 last time, came 21st on tiebreakers. So big deal that he has now finally got the chance to be on stream. And again, this is the second person they've had to apologise to. Okay, anyway.
First?
I'll tell you later.
Okay. Was it Cora?
It's usually Cora.
Yeah.
So, Vlcak got the hand you are looking for because he's now able to get the Vile Spine in with the... He can just drop the 1-drop to still have backup.
Yep, exactly. Firefly, Argent Squire, and Deckhand. Everything he could possibly want with the Hench Clan to follow up with on 10-3.
There's
something
really
fishy going on here, isn't there?
Magic Amy, is that you? So Tyler's going to have to set up his defences.
It's Tyler versus Goblin, that's what it is.
Quickly as possible.
How is he doing this? He was there a second ago.
Well, now it's just about how much he wants to use this hero power, and you want to use it a lot.
It's really nice this turn, isn't it? You hit the Homunculus once, you hit it again next turn after developing the Hench Clan Thug. Things are looking good, as expected for Vlcak.
It depends whether he wants to maybe coin out a Tar Creep and solidify first. I don't think he does, but these turns can be... sorry, we both lost the
We've
plot
just
here.
been informed that there is a player there playing.
Okay,
so
that's
it's
good.
not the Invisible Man. It's just the wrong player area. It's fine. We'll get there. Oh, apparently
we're going to do some magic.
We're going to perform a magic trick for you.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Wow. There we go. So...
That's not him, is it?
I hope not.
That's just not him.
There's a game of Hearthstone of serious importance in progress here. There we go.
Okay.
Back to the serious business. Vlcak.
I fight.
The casters are the ones struggling on this occasion, not the players. But Vlcak is definitely setting up well. Again, we're talking about getting rid of the Giant with the Vile Spine and everything. At the moment, Tyler doesn't have any good defensive measures. This isn't a good matchup for him anyway. But, you know, the double Giant starts, the Twilight Drake Giant starts can be okay. But he has got no response to this nothing that he's facing. But this nothing he's facing is about to become a heck of a lot of something over the next couple of turns.
Skulking Geist is somewhat helpful, shutting down any deadly poisons.
Yeah, cold bloods, all that sort of stuff, shenanigans, if a Myra's goes off.
Right.
But this matchup was already sort of 50-50-ish before Myra's even existed. I think Rogue players would argue it's favoured for them even then.
I think Rogue was still fine then.
Yeah. But in this situation, Tyler has no comeback threats. He has one Hellfire. he's got the 7-7 that's just going to get blown up. And Vlcak now has those double 3 drops. He's in a great spot.
Looking pretty rotten for Tyler for sure. Hellfire will at least buff up the Spellstone. I guess that's something. But if Vlcak just hits in his minion and his weapon into that beetle while developing the Hench Clan Thug, buffs that up to a 4-4, that would be surviving a Hellfire. It would even be surviving that unbuffed Spellstone. Is he looking at going with the... No, okay. Looked like he was going to go with the Vicious Fledgling instead there, which would have been much weaker to both Hellfire and also to the Spellstone. Hench Clan Thug does look a lot better. And now... he's going to throw the deckhand down.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get Hellfired for both his, for most of his stuff here. So, going to keep back the Fledgling. The player who came top 8 in the Czech Republic National Championships this year.
Okay. That's another notch to his bow.
And so, yeah, now he's seen the Hellfire, now he can consider playing the Flappy Bird. He's got nothing that needs to be done with this Vilespine. And now he's just got to think, which one of these two is better? Do I want a Hench Gang Thug? Do I want the Fledgling? And actually, I think you just want the second Thug, get it out of the way of any potential second Hellfire.
That's insane. I mean, Defile Hellfire, I guess, would counter this. But that's so unlikely at this point, given that one has just been played. The Spellstone can deal with one of these Hench Clan Thugs. And Tyler could upgrade the Spellstone with the Homunculus and then deal with the Hench Clan Thug, but he's still not really making much progress this game, as the other Thug will continue to beat him up.
Yeah, and that health total now, still with the Vilespine in hand, looking super for Vlcak. Obviously, the setback of this health looks bad, but it really isn't that disastrous. He has actually enough mana if he wants to hero power Deadly Poison, Vicious Fledgling.
And those look pretty good. Using up that Deadly Poison while he's got the chance. We can see the Skulking Geist is there in Tyler's hand. May not be something Vlcak's particularly worried about playing around, but no, he is going to go for it.
Yeah, he didn't have much else to do. That's why it's less of a decision. The only other choice is, does he want to put a Tar Creeper up to protect maybe his board?
This is weaker to the second Hellfire, but the point there being the second Hellfire.
And also, it costs basically all of Tyler's mana, because he's just shown he hasn't got much to do for the other 3. Does 3 damage to himself, and Vlcak just reloads, not just with the mediocre-looking hand you see here, but with whatever he rips off the top of his deck, which is a huge percentage chance to be another minion.
Right.
And he's wondering whether to apply the extra point of damage, but he doesn't need it, I don't think. He's got 13 on board as it is, so... or 14, actually. That is the Hellfire. I think I caught the orange glow there.
Wow, he got it! Leroy would be lethal here. But at the moment, Tyler is almost stable?
No. I mean, he's taking 4 more. But Vlcak doesn't have a good development turn here. He can just play double Tar Creeper Firefly, which sounds absolutely awful.
3 damage.
But it puts the 3 required damage on board, plus hero power for 5, and he still has that Vilespine that Tyler hasn't made him use, because he hasn't drawn a Twilight Drake or a Giant all game.
So, Tyler managed to get premium draw last turn. Maybe he can get the second Hooked Reaver this turn. I think that's what's looking like the premium draw here, because then he survives a single Vilespine Slayer.
Vlcak77. Need to make it Vlcak78 if he wins this one.
That's how it works. Counts up for every win.
I mean, usually that number in a lot of people's name means their year of birth. But there's no way that guy is older than me.
Wait, wouldn't yours be something
Shush.
like... Okay.
Tyler...
It's just lethal, isn't it? I mean, Tyler can't do anything to prevent this.
I mean, from where we're sat, no. From where he's sat, you know, is the 7-7 enough? Do you want to Bone Mare? Is that maybe a thing you can do? But from where Tyler sat, he maybe has some outs. He's got to work out, how do I beat a Leroy? I can't beat a Vilespine, so I just pretend Vilespine does not exist. We can see, of course, that Vlcak is just going to kill Tyler this turn and take a 1-0 lead here in the top 16 of DreamHack Winter 2018. This is the last top 16 game, I believe. Don't think the others have finished yet, but Vlcak looking to book his progress to the top 8. And looking pretty comfy. Looking through some more bits and pieces. He has won sort of various mid-level cups, like levels slightly below LAN, but online cups and such like. And so, yeah, I seriously underrated Vlcak beforehand, and a lot of his play there was very steady. In fairness to Tyler, Tyler couldn't test him with that hand. He had absolutely nothing doing. And, yeah, finds himself 1-0 down against a lineup that he might find awkward, because who plays Oddrogue? Who plays Zoo in 2018, December, Season 4?
Yeah, I mean, Tyler's entire lineup is bad against this Oddrogue, almost. I mean, Shudderwock Shaman could be okay. Glacial Shards can be pretty good. Healing Rain can be pretty good in that matchup, etc. I think that's what he's going to have to queue into it, because Death Rattle Hunter can be very risky. Yeah, Shudderwock Shaman it is.
Yeah, and this is a weird matchup, as are all aggro decks versus Shudderwock, because you always feel the Shudderwock can't win, in inverted commas. But actually, if you start Glacial Sharding and oozing the weapon is a very big thing that Tyler has here already in his hand. Chain Gang slow things down. Maybe you can pick up a Keleseth. Maybe get a lot of board occupation. Healing Rain help you stabilize. You can get it done with a Shudderwock. Definitely.
There's just a lot of ways of stalling in this deck. That's the thing. Against a deck as aggressive as the Rogue, if you start getting your stuff frozen, if you start getting your face frozen, those Saronite Chain Gangs in the way, Healing Rain again, healing them back up again, and even the Ooze that we see in the hand right now, that can do some serious work.
You can also kind of outcard them. Your cards go better than 1-for-1 with the Rogue cards if you're not dead. And you do have a lot of card draw to then stabilize. And Vlcak's hand was pretty grim until this Cold Blood.
It's like the dream, isn't it? Like, you think Firefly into Cold Blood is good for an Odd Rogue start, but Diamol into Diamol Cold Blood.
Depending on the pickup, he may have to just Earth Shock this to slow the bleeding. And that's what he's had to do.
I mean, that's reasonable. 1 mana, reduce the opponent's power on the board from 5 to 1.
Hench Clan Thug is the card that he needed right there, I feel. And that's the card he's got.
Even with the Rustican hero portrait, Tyler not managing to find... Well, it's not that he's not managed to find much luck, it's that Vlcak has managed to find all of the cards he could possibly want early.
Yeah, Vlcak here paused just briefly there because he doesn't want to walk into a Lightning Storm. But then he realised, hang on, if Tyler had Lightning Storm, it would have been played quite likely last turn. Right. And here is the big giveaway that Tyler is in a world of hunting for better cards.
He found one, sort of, just then. The Shudderwock. Just a little bit too expensive.
Vlcak won't want to walk into a mind control technology here, though. So I imagine he'll stick to just the 3 minions. He's got enough pressure he'll probably feel. Then next turn, yeah, he will Fungal Mancer, because then I don't care about your MC tech when you've got 5 mana. I'm just going to hit you really hard. I was right about that, by the way.
Yeah, I know you were. Someone tweeted that at me.
Good.
That's very embarrassing.
It is. I think it's the first time in 3.5 years of casting with you that I've known something about
a sound that
you didn't know yourself. Given that one of us plays with sound on and the other one plays with it off.
I just don't play much on Paladin. There we go, justifiable.
I used to play Arena and the card is from 2014 is probably why I knew it. Okay, so Tyler now forced a Volcano, and it doesn't leave him with much of a turn for the next turn. So if Vlcak can re-establish a decent board, which he kind of can and kind of can't.
So, depending on which route Vlcak wants to take here, if he does go with the Redagger, then that Ooze will be a nice little play onto the board with his few overloaded mana crystals. No, Vlcak just goes with the powerful Cobalt Scalebane. Yeah. 5 mana, 5/5, do nothing. But hey, Tyler just can't deal with it with 3 mana.
Yeah, Vlcak just putting 5 more damage on the board. It was a tricky choice because he did have the option to go sort of Argent Squire, Firefly, set up Fungal Mancer, and that is Myra's unstable element.
Even without Myra's, just look how strong this turn is. 1-drop Fungal Mancer, hit face for 7, buff up another minion, potentially the one with Divine Shield even further. Tyler, I don't know how you're going to get out of this one.
The elements seem to be guiding the wrong hero right now because Vlcak is in a great spot. Tyler doesn't have a spell in his hand, a Shudderwock, at all.
Something's not quite gone right there.
That's really unusual. He doesn't play like a huge number of spells, but to have none is bizarro world.
So 7 damage is going face this turn.
Yeah, at least. And yeah, from what Dan left unsaid there, it's just basically this double trade and just wedge that straight in between the eyes.
Maybe a healing rain from Tyler now with Electro will be enough for him to...
Will it though? Does it actually stop the problem? The problem is you're taking 11 plus Amiras next turn. 15 plus Amiras. So it doesn't really stem the tide. You don't deal with the problem. This is why when you learn games, like card games, you're usually taught that healing spells are bad things.
Sure. Yeah, of course. That's why no one plays Holy Light.
He's in that spot right now. This is too much stuff. You don't deal with the problem. He hasn't got a spell. He can't deal with the problem.
The new Paladin cantrip heal might be okay because it doesn't just heal you. It draws you a card as well. I think it's Flash Heal or something. However, Tyler with not a single spell in his hand can't even play Volcano again to clear up this board.
One thing that's really good to see about Tyler here is at the start of the year when he started making streamed games at high ends of Swiss tournaments, whether it was top 16 or otherwise, he was still making the transition as he gives that one up to 2-0. He was still making the transition from, even though it was a joke, he was a grinder, into serious tournament player, and that takes a bit of time. All people who have done that, even Muzzy, sort of go through this period where they don't necessarily play their absolute best. Tyler here is absolutely relaxed, despite being 2-0 down at top 16. I guess going to the World Championships and being a 2-star master helps with that comfort. But he doesn't look like terrified like he might have done back in March or something.
Which is a good thing too, because he is going to be entering the biggest tournament that he could possibly enter in the coming months. And it's good that he's managed to get some experience before going ahead and doing that. He has Death Rattle Hunter remaining, which he needs to use to sweep Odd Rogue, Shadowwalk Shaman, and Zoo. 2 of which I'd call pretty bad matchups in the Odd Rogue and the Zoo.
Yeah, and not looking good for Tyler at all, but we have got this hand here that can develop very quickly. If you fight back with 5/5s against the Rogue, you can just destroy them.
That's true.
You know what I might do here?
Okay.
Keep all 3 cards and hope the Rogue kills the egg.
That's reasonable. Yeah, that's actually really smart, because they do as well, especially at a higher level. They get the read that you can activate the egg several times, and they do that.
Oh, but now you can, so now you don't. I'm never going to know if Tyler would have made that play.
You can ask him.
I would. And this looks like a good bunch of stuff.
He doesn't want to discard the shore, really. I was going to say he can now just still take the second egg, play the first egg on 3, play the second egg, play dead on 4 if he kills the first one.
The Grizzly forces your opponent to have the Vile Spine as well, so it wasn't the easiest of choices, but Tyler made that choice pretty quickly.
Shore is just premium card. It's leagues above the average 4-drop.
It is. It's such a great card. I think it was underrated. I think the common view when it was very, very first revealed in the first few minutes amongst even good players was, okay, it isn't a beast. I'm not going to play this.
Yeah.
It didn't take long for people to realise how insane it is.
Others were saying it just dies. You play it on 10-4, it dies. So what? Like, it doesn't...
And I think back in that meta, it may have just died, in fairness. But now 6 health is just a giganormous amount of health, and it just stays on the board for turns.
Giganormous amounts of health.
Yep.
Copyright, Lorinda.
I use proper words in it.
That's definitely not a proper word.
So Vlcak, yet again, the perennial, what do I do with my coin in Rogue? Well, you have a Vile Spine in hand. The answer tends to be keep the coin in your hand and play a little bit slower. You don't have to kill them on turn 5, you just have to kill them. And it tends to be that just daggering up in these slots actually works really nicely. Your dagger's a very important part of your deck. So just get it equipped, miss a turn. You're not going to get out-tempoed next turn. Yeah, I like this. And then you've got Coin Vile Spine for any pesky Houndmaster Shores that may occur.
Oh, second play dead. We are really seeing the cards that Tyler can use to just win this game outright. Even if this egg gets destroyed, I don't think Tyler cares too much because he can just play to the Spider Bomb.
Not destroying the egg. He suddenly thought about it after he played the Thug, but it's too late then because the Thug would die to the 5/5.
So your Gambit wouldn't have worked?
It wouldn't have worked. I'd be just getting beaten up.
Lorinda's Gambit. was a tough turn.
Yeah, what?
Whoa, whoa, blisteringly fast.
Good luck, everybody. Well done, Tyler, from the OK there.
You can just tell when a player in a tournament being streamed is a streamer. You can just tell.
Yeah, and that's become more and more apparent. In fairness, I think a lot of the people we haven't seen much on stream before have been a lot better on camera in this particular tournament. Now, I'm thinking when Zigzo got beat as the main one, but several of the players have looked really relaxed on camera who haven't been on before. I think it's becoming more acceptable to be on, more normalised to be on a camera, so people are a lot less terrified of it. I think Dreamhack have done a good deal with that, with a lot of the short interviews they do between rounds. So people are a lot more used to just sitting in front of a camera and having Twitch chat laugh at them.
Now, Vlcak still left himself in a very good position here, because if this board survives, which it often does, Fungalmancer looks great next turn. Though, this. Fungalmancer not looking quite so great. Vastspine Slayer still looking good, though.
Yes.
Just getting rid of that Hellmaster Show at the first possible opportunity.
The second Vilespine's a big deal here, too. It's going to stop any dreams Tyler may have of instantly getting the board back.
And it does have Cube, though.
So he gets a 5/5. It dies to another Vilespine quite often, and then MC Tech happens, and who knows where we end up. What I do know is that Tyler has more health than Vlcak.
That seems good.
Does, doesn't it?
Not usually something that's relevant, but in this game, yeah, that's important.
Now, I wonder if Vlcak will put the 1/2 into the cube or something before playing Argent Squire Vilespine on the 5/5. Just to stay behind MC Tech. The 1 point of damage is relevant because Fungalmancer's a thing.
I was wondering if he'd clear everything, so put the 1/2 into the Devil Saw, put the weapon into the Devil Saw, and then Squire Vilespine the cube. It just leaves 0/3s on the board.
And he's seen quite a few activators.
He's seen both Playdeads and the cube already.
Yeah, interesting.
It's a tough turn.
And he can choose not to play around MC Tech as well, so that his Fungalmancer's in a much better spot. And actually, he's just going to not do any of the trading at all. He's just going to use the Fungal... Put it away. Yeah.
He's put it away. It's fine.
And now he's got to decide where he's going to put this 5/6, and I think embedding it into your opponent's facial portrait is probably a good idea. But it does allow some value trades on the other side.
Potential 12 damage, though.
Okay.
Chopping Tyler's health in half. Not going to go for it.
So what he's done here is, because he decided to trade, he's decided that MC Tech isn't damaging. Not really. It's a 5/1 if it gets stolen. The 3/4 is probably the best minion.
I think it is the best one. Yeah, look at this board now.
But what it did do is disconnect his Vilespine from reality. And Tyler has suddenly burst into life.
I didn't expect this. This is something I just outright didn't expect. Tyler doesn't have any more activators in his hand. He has big 8 charge dinosaur into big 9 charge dinosaur. I'm not sure what these eggs being on the board achieve.
It's just having the 3/3 on the board, so you might as well have the eggs.
Okay. You
just want to play the 3/3 is the main point here. So you've got extra removal.
But now there's 4 eggs hogging up the board. If Tyler can draw Mossy Horror now, suddenly this looks great. That's a big if, though. Either way, charge Devil Saw into the Tar Creeper and then use the other minions to clear up Vlcak's other minions. It's going to mean it's Mossy Horror. It's Myra's Unstable Element time.
Yeah, because Tyler doesn't mind if he can't clear his own board next turn, because that means all this stuff is there, which is a lot of damage to face. In fact, it's probably lethal. Not now, he hasn't pointed that at face.
It's just funny that...
Hey, that's a good card. You can turn all those eggs into...
5/5s? Tyler doesn't have space to play his King Crush. Unless...
But again,
trades something into
if he doesn't kill anything, do you care?
No.
You hit them for 15. That's why I'd like to have seen the 3/2 go face last turn, rather than trading into the 1/1. The 1/1 isn't killing you, and you force Vlcak to have to kill something.
Yep. Tyler doesn't quite have lethal right now, and he has to be a little bit afraid of what's in Vlcak's hand. Though now he might be tempted to just play Katharina and get himself a Witchwood Grizzly. I think he has 1 left.
Can't do that without giving up his MC Tech, though.
True. I think he's okay with that.
Yeah, I think he is too, but look, that's exactly what he's going to do. Okay, Vlcak still has, for what it's worth, the concede button that I just heard click in the background there.
He's just dragging his mouse over it. He's not actually clicking it just yet.
He's gonna. It looks like he's just thinking he's Void Ripper concede.
He's putting on a show for us. That's
good,
great.
man. That's good to see. That shows how relaxed he is. And Tyler getting one back on the board. The last possible moment.
Just has to beat Shadowwalk Shaman and Zoo Warlock with that Death Rattle Hunter. That's not unachievable. Shadowwalk Shaman, he should be in a good position to beat that deck, but Zoo is going to be a little bit trickier.
Zoo is one of the very hardest matchups. You can definitely win it, though. They don't have an easy way through Grizzly, then Q Play Dead tends to shut Zoo down really nicely, for instance. Shadowwalk, a lot of it depends on the Zoo side rather than Tyler's side. Sorry, rather than Tyler's side.
Yeah.
If the Zoo does its thing,
it might well do.
These, it's just fine.
Tyler gets an egg. It's slower than what the Zoo's crazy early start can be. The moment Vlcak draws a Happy Ghoul here, that's pretty much game over. Tyler did just draw an egg. Nothing else is relevant in the hand, really. Not yet, anyway.
This is a weird hand for Vlcak.
I think he just keeps the 1-drops, throws everything else. Dig for Happy Ghouls, as he has done.
That seems okay. Yeah. This can develop into a much better hand. It's got the basis of a nice hand, and it could develop into an absolute monster.
Okay is a great description of Vlcak's hand right now. As, wow, another tough decision for Tyler. Candle Shot has to be tempting because he can play it next turn. Spider Bomb and Grizzly are both potentially very powerful against Zoo Warlock.
Yeah, I don't want to underrate Candle Shot here against Zoo, but it's not as good against Zoo as it is against most of the other aggro decks. The minions are a bit beefier, and I suspect he'll take the Spider Bomb for that reason. But Candle Shot is, of course, very good.
It's a tough choice. You can tell it's a tough choice because Tyler roped that turn.
And this is why it turns out okay, because it does destroy these early minions, but keep an eye on how that turns. That's a Soul Infusion with your left-hand card being
Saranite Chain Gang.
Wow.
Despicable Dreadlord isn't amazing in this matchup. There are other matchups that it shines in. This is not one of them.
Yeah, and it's an interesting choice, actually, because it shines against all the decks that aren't here. I mean, in fairness, he's probably here because he's probably preyed on some odd Paladins and stuff.
Yeah, it's Paladins.
But it's also kind of slow.
Tyler is sort of entering the main portion of his game plan here. Egg into Terrascale next turn, but look at Vlcak go. Coin out a 4-mana, 2 4/5s.
Yeah, Vlcak looking really good to continue what seems to be a good few months for him. And Tyler's in a very awkward spot here, but whenever you're making 5/5s against Zoo, you've got some hope, especially when you've taken no damage yet. Nothing that a Happy Ghoul probably wouldn't sort out, though. Or Soulfire. Okay. You really want this Chain Gang on the board, but does it actually impact anything that well? Yes, it does, because it means your Fungal Mancer next turn is super duper.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. He'd have to at least trade one of his current Saranites into that Terrascale Stalker. The Devil Saw is annoying, so he just ignores it.
Vlcak just going to make as many things as he can and worry about the details later. The Dreadlord deals with the 5/5 if it trades into the 4/5.
Master Short not looking like it does quite enough here.
Yeah, and Fungal Mancer deals with, if things go wide, Fungal Mancer deals with it. If they don't, then Dreadlord kind of does good work.
So from what I'm looking at the moment, Ziliax deals with the weaker Saranite, the Devil Sword deals with the stronger one. Then Fungal Mancer buffs up the other two and they become 4/5s.
Flanking Strike also tempting.
Yep.
Okay.
Flanking Strike, very, very similar to Ziliax here.
Ooh.
He gets the heal, so... But what have you spotted?
I was just... He took out the bigger minion, which obviously makes quite a lot of sense.
Yeah. Does that
But
know what
he
you
has
expected?
Rexar in hand, and it was a 4-2.
Oh, sure.
Not saying at all that was wrong. It was just
Yeah.
I was expecting to leave that up and take out the smaller minion so that the 4-2's kind of forced to trade anyway next turn.
Vlcak might just go ahead and play Despicable Dreadlord here and just make the trades. Or make the one trade,
Yeah, I
rather.
think it's fine because when you get the second Dreadlord down, you're a bit scared the egg's going to proc, but this is just a beefy minion and doesn't sort of puts you off wanting to play Rexar.
You sort of start not caring eventually.
Yeah.
When you've got 2 Dreadlords on the board, then you're looking like you're in a pretty good position yourself.
Yeah, very much so. Still hasn't picked up like the premium stuff in some ways. Obviously double chain gang with a soul infusion, pretty premium, but he hasn't done any of the silly healing shenanigans that can be so irritating. And the pressure has forced Tyler not to be able to use Rexar fairly predictably. I usually say at this point it's too late for Keleseth, but I don't think it is. This game's going to rumble on for a few turns.
It is.
Yeah.
Something else is going to rumble on very soon as well.
Yes.
Rastakan. He's going to rumble.
Sure is.
Thought that was intentional. Never mind.
No? I never do anything intentional.
True.
Derek.
Okay. On that note, Voodoo Doctor is kind of tempting as well this turn because that can be played with Fungalmancer for finally that big powerful Fungalmancer turn that I think Vlcak's been waiting for. I definitely agree that Keleseth itself looks strong too.
I quite like Keleseth doubling him and Soulfire the 3/3 and just take my chance.
Yeah, okay.
The Keleseth is... the trap here is to think, well, 3 of my 4 doubling minions have been played or in my hand.
Right.
With the Sound Knights, the doubling imps. But that +1/+1 is going to apply to 4 or 5 turns, possibly even a Solarium.
Yep.
It's enough extra stats over the course of this game to be worth it. And actually, yeah, he's going this way, okay. This is what you were suggesting, sort of protecting the Soulfire and getting...
It's like a middle ground. I was looking at the Fungalmancer, but I definitely like the look of this as well. This way you do get the Keleseth down, as you said. It'll be killing something every single turn. That Mossy Horror is being timed.
Does he need to? He can play the Rexar and his egg blows up to the Dreadlord next turn anyway.
Oh, wow, okay.
And save the Mossy Horror for a rejig later.
I still prefer the Mossy Horror now, just because Keleseth has just been played, which means all future minions
Good, yeah.
probably going to have more than 2 attack.
Good point.
Whereas Rexar will hopefully find a way at some point. As I say that, of course, Vlcak draws the 1 minion that still does only have 2 attack, and then buffs it. Look at this, Dreadlord. I said it's not as important in this matchup, but it's definitely done some serious work.
Proper work, hasn't it? Just using exact numbers really clearly. And don't fall into the trap of thinking that Vlcak is out of this, because that's a lot of damage Tyler has to deal with, and he has to deal with it using minions. And he hasn't got any of his big stuff. He hasn't got the Katharina, the dinosaurs. That sounds like a really bad pop band.
I think it's the Rexar turn now. I think it's Rexar hero power, try and get something good to start to actually aggressively clear the board next turn. We're talking Cave Hydras with Rush, etc. He's gone with the Rexar. Keleseth must be tempting, but I think he has to bank the mana now on that hero power. He's doing it. Will he be rewarded? There's a Cave Hydra. If he just gets a Rush minion, or
There's
a charge
one.
minion, that'll do.
Rush plus.
It's not as good as, you know, Echo Rush or Lifesteal Rush, but it clears the board next turn almost. As good as. Ooh.
Just wedge it in the face.
Ooh.
That one there. Not playing around crushing walls. Always a big consideration. It's a deck that doesn't play spells.
Ooh.
Actually, this is the correct play, by the way, because it does play around the Hydra.
Candle Shot.
And it was deliberate.
Candle Shot, very nice pickup here, actually, because Tyler can play the Candle Shot with the zombies and use Mossy Horror and... Oh, sorry, he's already got one equipped. Ignore me entirely.
It's fine, I usually do.
He can clear everything except the Doom Guard here.
But yeah, he did play around the Hydra with the positioning, which is always funny.
That is fun.
Because you naturally play around crushing walls, but people do play around Hydra these days because it's by far the more common card, even though it's not in any decks.
You naturally play around Crushing Walls.
You naturally play around the card that exists.
Yeah, sure.
The Hydra doesn't even exist as a card people play in the deck, yet it's played more often than the Crushing Walls.
Yeah.
That's so bizarre. Stop staring at me like that. But every turn from here on in, Tyler is going to be facing 2 cards. Of course, he's dead if he doesn't tidy them up every single time.
This is the only Doomguard in the deck.
Okay.
And one Soulfire has already been played. So actually, the amount of burst damage Vlcak can come out with has been pretty restricted.
And it is just the Doomguard. There's like no Leroy add-on that you think might exist.
There's a Void Ripper that could flip the...
Solarium!
Ooh.
Okay, so Fungalmancer's a bit of extra damage.
All right,
Soul
that's 2.
Infusion.
That's 2. He's getting closer. I was saying Void Ripper could have buffed the damage by 2 more.
Does he need to defend at any point here, though? I've been saying wedge that into the face for several turns away, but if there's no more direct damage left, or not enough direct damage left, you're about to lose the board.
Maybe Tyler comes back here.
I think you're committed to hitting this in the face, but you're right. I think he might.
All it takes is a good lifesteal minion.
Doesn't even need to be a good one, I don't think. Just
all it takes is a lifesteal. Well, the expensive one might be a little bit
got to be a bit
well,
careful with lifesteal
expensive.
minions now. The Light Warden's jumping into play, but
he should be able to just trade it away.
Yeah.
Easily though. Cave Hydra's still there. He just needs anything with Vicious Scalehide, really. That's all Tyler needs to.
And for the first time there, Vlcak was showing signs of a little bit of nerves/excitement. He's been pretty well measured, but now he's realizing he's in please don't have it, please don't have it, please don't have it mode.
Okay, if Tyler doesn't hero power this turn, he can go Hellmaster Shore, cube something, trade the cube into the Doomguard and get the guaranteed board clear. But that would mean not hero powering, not healing. So this is a really tough decision for Tyler, and that's the reason he's not immediately gone for the hero power.
Yeah, like you said earlier, whenever you see Tyler thinking for any period of time, it means the turn is hard, because otherwise he's just like Casey.
He's gone with that play. He's decided, I probably don't die. In fact, oh no, there's still one Soulfire. The Soulfire will kill him. Everything else...
And that deck is fairly thin by now. I'm going to guess there's like 12 cards there, with a bit of a guesstimate left in his deck. Alright, does he get it? Strike 1.
A tap for a Soulfire.
Looks like it would be 10 cards, so 1 in 10 chance of hitting the Soulfire.
No, but he's got another shot.
1 in 9 chance of hitting the Soulfire.
That's also not Soulfire. Tyler is going to win this game, tying up the series. It all comes down to Death Rattle Hunter versus Shudderwock Shaman.
Oh,
Suddenly, Tyler has a very good chance to make it to the top 8.
I think this is the most expressive I've seen Tyler in a tournament setting. That's because he's relaxing more and more into tournaments.
That was also the most expressive I'd seen Cora. She just appeared a second ago, did a little dance, and then ran off again.
She's pretty expressive, but she tried to get to the desk for the previous round, is what I can tell you. All right, all comes down to this, and Vlcak's had a taste of the top 8 now, and that's a bad thing in terms of your mental approach. You start thinking about the next round, not this one. He was fine, he'd been in the zone, he'd been playing very solid Hearthstone. But for one turn there, he's thinking about what he's doing tomorrow, what time he's getting to bed tonight, getting up nice and early for his top 8 match. Those things flash through your mind no matter how, just no matter who you are. And now he's got to get back to the present, something Tyler is incredibly good at, because he plays Hearthstone in the present 14 hours a day, every day on stream.
And he has a favourable matchup now. It's gone from being a very unfavourable series to finally... Now Tyler has his taste of the top 8. He's thinking about what time he's going to go to bed.
He's thinking about what time he's going to World. He's fine.
He doesn't sleep.
And he doesn't sleep. Actually, he does sleep, from what I can pick up from when he's talking about it. He doesn't sleep like regular, like any streamer basically doesn't sleep regular. When he does sleep, he sleeps a lot of hours in one go. Like 10, stuff like that. And then he gets up and streams for 200. So, how favourable did you say it is, given that the opening hand has Hemet?
It's really complicated. So it speeds things up for the Shadowwalk Shaman significantly, but it also removes Glacial Shards, Mind Control Techs, Earth Shocks, all of these key cards against Death Rattle Hunter.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. So stick to the plan and see how you feel when you get to turn 6.
Yeah.
More than just ruin your deck.
Yeah.
Obviously, with it being an unfavourable, he could take the decision that, not necessarily, hand dependent, he could just say, I'm going to try and just go for a really, like a 67% Shadow Walk and just not build up my percentage and just hope it all does its thing.
I mean, it's genuinely a reasonable strategy to just...
He's got a nice hand as well.
Try and curve out, get that Hemet down on turn 6, play Shadowwalk as early as possible. He's even got Farsight in hand that he could play immediately after the Hemet to dig even deeper for a cheap Shadowwalk. It's definitely worth thinking about, and I'm sure he will right up until turn 6, where he will then make the decision. Yeah,
he'll have a much better understanding of how the lay of the land is going into that situation. And one consideration here already is if you do want to think about having Hemet on your side, playing Life Drinker now and just starting the process is a thing you can do. But he's going to play a longer game by the look of this play.
Engaging TC 130.
Turn 4 for Hunters, either amazing or kind of awful, right? You either get sort of play dead stuff going on or Houndmaster Shore, or you just have to just plop something bad onto the board.
That's a really good point.
There's no middle ground for turn 4.
No, well, Houndmaster Shore.
That's a really good turn.
That's a very good turn, you're right. Take it back.
I was factoring that in. Tell you what is going to be a really good turn is about turn 6.
Yep. If that Woodford Grizzly survives, which it likely will.
Do you Volcano this?
Do you Volcano this? Do you play Hemet? Like,
those two things are both very strong options, I feel. I don't think you do Volcano this because you can't see his hand. Even though you know it's a threat, you kind of have to draw the line at being ridiculous somewhere, even though I never do. I think you Hemet. It challenges what's going on and starts you towards Crazyville.
Yeah, I mean, it reduces this deck to such a low size. 7 cards remaining, so that's Shadowwalk, Grumble, both Saranites, Life Drinker, and both Hexes.
That's Volcano's just gone for good. You have the Hexes, but they're kind of slow.
It deals with the cube, so that's something.
Yeah. But again, yeah, you do have to deal with it if you're going for it this way.
6 cards remaining. He can Farsight this turn along with the Hex. A cheap Shadowwalk would be great. It wouldn't do anything just yet. Saronite's fine too.
Yeah. Notice that the common theme to having played Hemet is all your cards are good.
Especially with Farsight.
Yeah, the Farsight thing is a big deal. But so is Tyler's board is a very big deal, as in it's very big to deal with for Vlcak here. No Electra available for the Volcanoes. So he's going to clear this board, it's going to be very slow, and by which time he might be getting King Crushed. How much time can you buy? Your Shadowwalk's not going to be fantastic, but can you buy enough time for it to be at least middling? Double Life Drinker, worth noting. So that accelerates how quickly your Shadowwalk saves you.
True. It's true. I wonder if Hagatha is something Wojciech's going to be considering. No, Storm Volcano. I think just about does the damage. I didn't quite count in time, but yep, that's it. I think that was probably exactly 15 or roundabouts. There's 4...
Weak turn for Tyler.
4 overloaded mana crystals means weak turn for Wojciech coming up.
But he has a 1-mana chain gang to stick in the way. He knows there's no Katharina because that would have been insta-played. The only thing he's scared of is King Crush. He can put something in the way of it. He can then play the Life Drinker behind it and start setting up the framework for the 3 cards he has left to be Shadowwalk, Grumble, and another card that I can't remember.
I think there's a second Saronite in there.
Sure, let's go with that. That sounds right. Tyler, though, having none of it.
He's just trying to get Vlcak's health down as quickly as he can. King Crush still there.
Vlcak's hand is small enough here that he can probably afford to Hagatha.
Yeah.
It does add a Hagatha to the pool that he doesn't necessarily want. The Chain Gang's a much better pickup. Working out if he's ever going to Volcano this game, because he is. This is his last chance to ever do so. I don't think he is, but this is his last ever chance. Because the next two cards are Grumble and Shudderwock.
I think Soundlight Acolyte has to be very tempting.
I think so too.
Just get me my Shudderwock. And Grumble.
Obviously. Your Chain Gang is going to get in the way of King Crush for one more turn, then you can Hex it.
Even if Shudderwock goes wrong and doesn't bounce itself, it's still going to be 3 6/6s on the board that Tyler's going to struggle to deal with.
And I think Vlcak knows that King Crush has to be in hand, because Tyler's done nothing for 2 high mana turns.
Right.
I'm not saying he knows under this sort of pressure in 75 seconds when he can't see the cards, but he can know that is exactly King Crush in hand.
Hagatha.
Yeah, Hagatha's fine as, you know, it takes him out of immediate death range. It gives him Hex and Chain Gang next turn.
Oh, the snap play of the Katharina. Gets the Devil Saw as well. King Crush is so close.
Unlike the deck lists, which are now on the floor.
Sorry.
It's fine. You were excited?
I'm very excited.
And the deck list sensed it. Well, he can still defend this.
Look at how stressed the players are.
Wait, did Tyler just go face there? He's got Hunter's Mark and a Candle Shot in his hand. Did he just go face there?
Candle Shot in his hand?
He went face with the Candle Shot. He's got Hunter's Mark in hand.
Oh, right.
There's Chain Gang coming down next turn. Hex Chain Gang means that Vlcak will be able to actually defend for one more turn. And Tyler's just done 1 point of damage instead of using the Hunter's Mark to kill a thing.
He's got the blinkers on, you know, like he's just thinking...
He's seen it. His eyes have just turned into, like, saucepans.
He just wants to go face with everything he's got, but he didn't
he's really annoyed.
Catch the importance, given that he knows that Vlcak must have the Soundlight in hand or the Shudderwock in hand, one or the other.
Well, he knows the hand apart from one card, basically, yeah. So Hex and Chain Gang are in that pool of cards. Vlcak doesn't know it's King Crush for sure, but he knows. Hex Chain Gang, from what we can see, is the only respectable play here.
This is a powerful turn for Vlcak. Okay.
He Volcanoes.
King Crush is 8 damage.
Remember, he's played no Glacial Shard.
No, right. That's really important.
And next turn, he now cannot Shudderwock.
He's also going to start taking fatigue damage after next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just, what did I do? I think both players there just not quite getting that right. And Tyler has slowed himself right down here. I think he's trying to work out if he can do some sort of cube King Crush 1,000,000 damage, messing around.
I don't think he even needs to, though.
I don't think he needs to either. There's no healing rain unless one is ripped unmercilessly here from Hagatha.
Okay. So Vlcak can play the Shudderwock. That defends him. Oh, no, he can't because of the
he
fatigue
overloaded
damage.
with the Volcano last turn.
But he can't even play Sour Knight to protect himself because Hero Power fatigue damage finishes the job. He needs to get a healing rain.
Yeah, that's it. That's his only out.
Or a Tidal Surge from this Hagatha immediately. Frost Shock isn't good enough. Tyler, with his Hero Power next turn and with the fatigue damage that Vlcak is about to take, is going to find lethal. There are no spells cheap enough to be played with this Acolyte of Pain to save Vlcak. This is just game over, and Tyler's seen it.
He's like, please don't. He's not. He's got it. How did I win that game of Hearthstone?
That was an incredible series. The reverse sweep from Tyler, earning himself top 8 at Dreamhack Winter.
Oh boy, Tyler needs to sleep. So badly. Oh.